Good morning, everybody. The Sunday after Easter. This is Beans Wins News. So, the topic I would like to talk about today has a lot to do with parenting, family. And where I want to start at is the children. And I'm going based off of my own experiences, visually and physically. See, I came up in a great family. I had my mom and my stepdad, and they provided for us, you know, sacrificed their lives to get us out the hood just so I can have an opportunity and my sisters have an opportunity to be able to um, go to schools and go to places where we can have chances and opportunities to survive and grow in your life. But during that same time, I experienced a lot of things by not having my real father there. Even though my stepfather tried his best, we don't share the same genes and stuff. So we wasn't gonna be, extra tight like that because maybe we didn't understand each other all the time, you know? So I had to learn a lot of things on my own. Much love because he provided me a place to stay financially so I can go out in the world in the streets to learn my own, to find myself. But during that process, it had to be a lot of losses, a lot of pain, a lot of suffering. You know what I'm saying? A lot of making the wrong decisions to end up knowing what's the right decisions. Which, that's what we dealing with in today's world. The same type of things, same type of cycles. But what I was blessed with was the fact that my stepdad took my mom. He loved my mom and her kids. So he took in my mom and took in the kids too as well. And it seems like it's a type of division out here. Any race, you know, where the fathers and the mothers are against each other. I mean, borderline hate each other. If not, they hate each other. And I see this on a regular basis just on social media in real life. You got a lot of fathers who can't see their kids anymore for certain situations. The mother is holding the kids. You can't see my kids because you owe me money. You're not paying child support. You with a girl I don't like. A lot of things. And it goes the same thing, with the men. I can't see my kids. She won't let me. So now I'm not going to do this. Now I'm not going to do that. Not in my kid's life. All those things is understandable to me when it comes to y'all feelings. When it comes to people's feelings, that's when I feel like that's understandable. But when it comes to the development of the children, it's not understandable. Because a lot of us are from those same situations where we're from fractured families or combined families or no family. So we know what type of effects that we have in our lives, in our own individual lives from growing up in those same type of situations. but yet it's being continued. And I feel like men and women have to find ways to move around that, because no matter what the mom or dad say, when y'all participating in not being in your children's life for whatever reason, it's only harming the children. It's not improving either parents. It's not a positive for either parent, because there's no positive for the kid. There's no positives for the kids. So that part has to be figured out. If two people got together in the first place, that means that they had things that they liked about each other. They had some things in common. And especially if you got married and you had kids, it was something deeper than that. So once upon a time, you guys had something deeper, something real deep, something real good, something right. Right enough that you was blessed with the children. I use the word blessed because it seems to me a lot of people feel like children is some type of curse or some type of burden. So let me talk about myself real quick. So I'm 35. I don't have no felonies, misdemeanors. I never been married, never been divorced. I don't have children. I don't got baby mamas. Okay, I went to college, Division III JUCO, and then I went to Division I NIA, got a scholarship to play basketball, got a scholarship for being on the dean's list, got a scholarship for drama. So I got scholarships for many things. I'd have traveled and lived in many places in Wisconsin. You know, I have my own places, my own vehicles, everything of my own, right? Still in great shape and everything. I've been doing whatever I want to do my whole life, man. But I could tell you right now, nothing is more blessed than having you a family, having you children. Ain't nothing more blessed than having a nuclear family. Mother, father, children. Nothing more blessed than that. Nothing gets better than that. And I could do whatever. And I've been doing whatever. Don't have to conform. Don't have to deal. You know what I'm saying? But that's the greatest thing from whatever that I learned so far. And I really learned that because I ended up raising some children since they was 4 years old. And I ended up loving the kids as they own, as my own. And they feel like they my own. Now, they feel like they my own so much that I moved to Florida just so I could be in their life. And the story ain't so much different than other people's story. You know what I'm saying? My girl been married before. And do have kids by another guy. And that guy wasn't in a perfect situation. She wasn't in a perfect situation. But I took in the kids. You know what I'm saying? But that man got himself together. That man is in a great position. That man wanted to be back in his children's life. So the children is back in his life. But the great thing is that the father wanted me to be in the kid's life too. Okay with me being in the kid's life too. There's no reason to fight because we always been in the kid's life. And those are the type of things that people who have children and your relationship that broke up, you got to figure out a way to make that type of thing work. Because see, if I'm with the kid's mother or not, the best thing for the children would be is for the mother and the father to be somewhere close, so then the children can have both influences of the mother and the father. And that's how I always felt. Now, did I have to deal with how I feel? Absolutely. But it's about what's more important first. And that's the children having their real parents in their life. And I'm an influence to the children. The children love me as their dad because I was there from the beginning. But I also know I didn't create them. So I always taught them the respect of having their own father, their real father. And they can have that love for me and I have that love for them. And I see them regularly. I see them when I want to. No beef, no fighting. You see what I'm saying? So to me, we got to get back to that. When I talk about this topic with a lot of people, it usually comes down to the same things or why it's so difficult. So everybody's saying, or a lot of people saying, man, I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't trust that because baby mama, baby daddy always fucking. They gonna always be fucking. So I'll be looking like, well, damn. We 35 years old. You grown up people still worrying about if people fucking people, having sex with people. So everything keep on being ruined. Everything that we have going on in this world keep getting destroyed because somebody having sex with somebody else. Let me tell you something. I trust a woman enough that she's not doing it. But at the same time too, I got too many more things important to think about than to be having that on my mind about if a girl is having sexual relations with another dude. See, so to me, our minds is in the wrong places. Our minds is always on who having sex with who. Our minds is always on who you having sex with. So as long as we stay always thinking about the sex part, the jealous because you having sex, jealous because you having sex, then you're not going to get to the responsibility part of, well, during the time that you had sex, you created life, and your responsibility is to develop this life. And these children did not choose to not have mommy and not have daddy. These children don't understand that. You see what I'm saying? What they understand is that they love mommy and daddy. And mommy and daddy is going to have two different stories to tell their children. So mommy and daddy shouldn't be talking to the children so the children can choose sides. You see what I'm saying? If you're the responsible family member and you the person who could take care of the kids and provide the kids the best ability, then the kids should be over there until that other parent can get to that position where they can provide something good for the kids. You know what I'm saying? This the way that I feel like we should be talking. This the way that we should be thinking. I don't pay so much attention about who fucking and what not because I'm too confident to be worried about something like that. You know what I'm saying? If somebody fuck with somebody, isn't it just easy to go do the same thing too? That's elementary. So since that's elementary, that's not something that I will be worrying and spending all my days and energy doing. What I'll be focusing on is the development of the children. Can we get them from the situation that we was in? Can we break cycles? So no, I don't have kids because it's a cycle I'm trying to break. No, I'm not married because it's a cycle I'm trying to break. You know what I'm saying? I don't have felonies because it's a cycle I'm trying to break. It's about not going through those same things and having our children go through the same things, trying to provide them with something better. So since we're older people, we're not in our 20s anything. Our kids, the children is on their way to middle school, high school, college. We at the point now where we're supposed to be adults and handle these situations as an adult, which is putting the children in the best position to succeed. Now, before I get done with this, I want to talk to men straight up, males straight up. Ain't no real reason or real excuse why you not in your children's life one way or another. No way. If you saying that, that's because you don't know the law and you don't want to know the law. And I'm talking about legal law and law of nature. If you had children out here, but the women don't want you to see the children, it's not like you can't still send them money. It's not like that you still can't provide for them financially. That's still being a parent. You should never be like, I can't see my kid, she can't get no money. That sound crazy, bro. That sound crazy. Because the kid is going to be with the mom until a certain amount of time. And then the kid is going to grow up and have his own thinking. You see what I'm saying? My older sister found my dad. She found him. So that's just proof. Like, she found him and went in his life. So at some point in time, like, children's going to make their own decision. Children going to want to see mommy or daddy at some point. You know what I'm saying? So always take care of your kids if you can't see them or not. Always have that money for them. Always have them funds ready. Always have whatever they need. You know what I'm saying? Always have that stuff, man. Don't have your kids going through the worst just because the mother don't want you to see them, man. You know what I'm saying? Another thing. Use the law, fellas. Don't complain about not seeing the kids. Don't complain about what this woman doing. Don't go over there and try to put things in your own hands. Go study your law. Go get your money together. Go get you a lawyer. And force this woman to do something right by law. But if you keep trying to do things on your own, you're going to end up going to jail, going to prison. And that don't help you financially. That don't help your kid financially. That don't help you see your kid. That don't help your kid see you. All that is counterproductive because you got you a woman that don't want you to see your kids for whatever reason, man. But you should be trying to fight to see your kids, fight and provide for your kids. Just because you don't see your kids don't mean that you're not living. So that means provide while they're not there. What happens to that one day they want to talk to daddy? What happens to that one day they want to visit daddy? Do daddy have something for them when they see him? Because I know that'll look much, much better if the kid knock on the door, see their dad, hug their dad, and their dad got something for them. Scholarship, a car, a flower, something. Was you working hard for them? So you could tell them that you was out here working hard instead of telling them, well, I couldn't do this and I couldn't do that because of your mom. See, that part as men, we need to stop. That part needs to stop. Point blank, period. As men, our job is to provide. The children that I'm dealing with down here in Florida, you know what I'm saying? They're not my flesh and blood. But since they've been in my life for 7 years, it's emotionally too difficult for me not to be around them. It's emotionally too difficult for me to tell them that I'm leaving them and they're never going to see me again. That's too difficult for me to do. So difficult for me to do that I had to leave where I was living to come down here to move close to them. So I can stay in their life and they can stay in my life. But they actually have their parents. So if it's that difficult for me, I don't see how it's easy for any man to not see or be or conversate or support or provide for their own children. That part I don't understand. That part I don't want to understand. That part I'm not going to understand. But what I do understand is this. Is that it's affecting the children very highly when the father is not in the children's life. It affects them. It affects the boys differently than it affects the girls. But either way, it affects them both.